The question is, what do you call an object so profound that it instantaneously evokes such enormous emotion and feeling, and ties you back to a time and place that you've only read about, that you don't know? What do you call an object that is ingrained into the actual fabric of our being as citizens of a country? And the answer to that is, it's a national treasure. And in a sale filled with extreme rarity and importance and history, there are two objects in this auction that stand out, even amongst a field that shines so bright, and they are, without question, legitimate 100% national treasures. And that's what we have with lot number 2 in our 250th anniversary sale. Serial number 1 Henry rifle, presented to Abraham Lincoln's Secretary of War, Edwin Stanton. There is no question about it that it is the most important lever action rifle in private circulation. Secretary of War Edwin Stanton got number 1. Lincoln received serial number 6, the Smithsonian Museum of National History. That is where Abraham Lincoln's serial number 6 Henry rifle resides for eternity. Gideon Wells, who is Secretary of the Navy, received serial number 9 Henry rifle. That gun is now also entombed at the Gene Autry Museum of the West. Those 3 guns make up what collectors, historians, and enthusiasts have long called the Lincoln Cabinet guns. Serial number 1 Henry rifle, presented to Edwin M. Stanton, is not only the first, it is the only Lincoln Cabinet gun in private circulation, which is why it is, no questions asked, the most important lever action rifle. It's not the first repeating breech loader, nor is it the first rifle to use a toggle link assembly, but the Henry rifle is the first lever action that we think of. This serial number 1 Henry rifle, it's not the first Henry, it's the first Winchester. This is the first Winchester rifle, period. It is the origin of it all. Henry rifles were serial number 1 through 12,000 in terms of numbers produced, but what happens is, in the model of 1866, they overlap. There is no serial number 1 Winchester 1866. They overlap at approximately 12,500. That's when you'll see Henry's above that, and you'll see Winchester 1866 is above that. The Winchester 1866 was called the improved Henry rifle. That is what we have here, and everything that comes after. It is right here with serial number 1 Henry rifle, again presented to Secretary of War Edwin M. Stanton. And Stanton, being the Secretary of War during the American Civil War, held the most critical and important role within Lincoln's cabinet.
Stanton's micromanagement of the War Department probably explains why he was presented serial number 1 Henry lever action rifle. Throughout the American Civil War, lots of firearms companies were coming out with new designs. The Henry was the latest and most advanced repeating firearm available, but it hadn't been proven on the battlefield. Though large US military orders were not forthcoming, Oliver Winchester and the New Haven Arms Company had no troubles selling Henry rifles. They continued to sell them in large numbers throughout the rest of the war. They could barely keep up with demand. Many of them were actually purchased directly by Union soldiers, primarily from the Midwest, using re-enlistment bonuses.
Stanton was not Lincoln's first choice to lead the War Department. His first Secretary of War was Simon Cameron. Stanton actually cut his teeth, got his start as a legal advisor to Secretary Cameron, who resigned rather quickly in 1862, and it was Stanton who would replace Cameron in the War Department. And right away, he ruled with an iron fist. And one of the first things he does is eliminates all foreign military contracts on firearms. So any procurement by the federal government for arms and ammunition was going to be done in the United States. Stanton also, he was Lincoln's right hand. He was the one pushing Lincoln to appoint U.S. Grant to be the Army, the commander of the Potomac, after his success in the West. He was the one pushing Lincoln to really push these generals to be more aggressive. That was who Stanton was. In fact, on the morning of April 15th, 1865, at approximately 7:21 in the morning, Lincoln is drawing his last breath, and he's surrounded by Secretary Stanton and Secretary Gideon Wells. So 1, 6, and 9. And as Lincoln literally draws his last breath, Stanton proclaims, "Now he belongs to the ages." That was Secretary of War Edwin M. Stanton. And with all the power that he yielded in controlling the War Department, naturally, it's a natural fit to present this gentleman with this technological advancement, right? In which the Confederates said those damn Yankees would load it on Sunday and shoot it all week with its 15 round capacity magazine. That was the Henry rifle. And so it's all these things and more which frame serial number 1 Henry rifle, of course, as a national treasure. And again, it's an emotional experience, to be honest with you. If you're a student of 19th century American firearms, period, or a fan of cinema, you've seen a Henry rifle. You know what the lever action represents. You know what the lever action Winchester represents. And here it is. Here's the origin story. Here's the first. Here's the genesis. It's the patriarch of Winchesters. It's serial number 1 Winchester as far as we are concerned. And it's an interesting story. Arnold Chernoff discovered this gun in the late 1960s in Ohio. So and Stanton was from Ohio, and Chernoff was a legend in and of himself. He was 500 pounds, gregarious, and handled some of the finest guns in the world. He's the one that discovered serial number 1 again in Ohio. The gun won a silver medal, 10 best weapons in, I think, 1970 at the National Rifle Association show. The gun would go right into the Carl Press collection and wouldn't be sold publicly until 1993, when it realized over $600,000 at auction. Just an absolutely staggering sum. Hyperbole is one thing, and this is not that. This is the first Winchester, and it's also beautiful. It's Samuel Hoggson factory engraved. It's in extremely high condition for a Henry rifle. We always say if a Henry rifle's got blue on the barrel, it's extremely high condition, and that's what you have here again. So it's one of these multiple box checkers. And then of course you have the history of Oliver Winchester and Henry, who would design. Heck, he designed the 44 rimfire cartridge. Why you see the H on the 44 rimfire cartridges for Henry, and he got his start working for Oliver Winchester at his shirt manufactory. And Oliver Winchester would invest in the Volcanic Repeating Arms Company, which would parlay into the New Haven Repeating Arms Company, which in 1866 would reform as the Winchester Repeating Arms Company. And again, the rest is history. And because the Henry and the 66 blend together, that's what you have. That's what you have with this gun. It is as uniquely, distinctly, unapologetically, profoundly American. It is as good as something gets in our space. It really is. If you're a fan of fine and historic firearms, particularly 19th century American firearms, you can ask for nothing better. Serial number 1 Colt single action, famously sold at auction in the mid-early 2000s for just under $1 million, and it was it's a patinaed gun. It's a no finish gun. This is a factory engraved presentation gun. Again, it's the only of the 3 Lincoln cabinet guns in private circulation. It stands on top of the mountain for Western guns, cowboy guns, you name it. It is right there. It is the first Winchester lever action rifle. It is a unbelievable opportunity to be around it. It is emotional. It's emotional to be around it. If you do this at a high level, if you enjoy this, if you're passionate about it, it doesn't get any better. And the beauty of it is you don't have to press your face against museum glass. We are caretakers, we are custodians of these objects, but you can own it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can share it. And that's what we're here to do. So at Rock Island Auction Company, we handle the finest firearms in the world. Our American sale, the celebration of the 250th anniversary of the United States, the indomitable American spirit. No more is that embodied here than with lot number 2, the factory engraved serial number 1 presentation to Abraham Lincoln, Secretary of War, Edwin Stanton. This is the beginning of all things that are levers. And here it is, June 27th. It's an evening sale. We're starting it at 5 p.m. Preview opens at noon, bar opens at 2. The band's gonna be playing, dinner's at 4:30, auction starts at 5. It's gonna be a hell of a good time. Hope to see you there.